My name is Gabe Lewis, and I am one of two underwater fire controlmen. In New London was where the state where my mother came from, the old country, and my dad came from the old country, and so I had relatives there, and just short-tail relatives, but Connecticut was easy, and I liked it. It was like Michigan, only just a little more humid, So, when I left Great Lakes, I went right to Groton, Connecticut, or New London, whichever you want to call it. Subbase is actually in Groton. Actually, it's nowhere. It's just a piece of land. My first son was born there, so he likes to say he wasn't born anywhere. He was born on the base, in the dispensary of all places. So, but you didn't ask, but when I went ashore, I had no choice on teaching. They reached down, they told Captain Carlin on the Bang that they were taking me. I couldn't have flunked submarine. I couldn't have flunked instructor training school. I just went from right there to teaching. And I had my own lab, all the rest of that. It was across from the skipjack trainer. The skipjack was sunk, or the Scorpion was sunk. Okay. So I ran the programs from my lab over to the skipjack trainer, which was the sister ship of the Scorpion, and determined what happened to that and all the rest of that. Had another claim to fame. I had a complete illegal fire control system over there, because when the people from the boats would call up with a problem, I'd run it through my lab and decide what was the matter. They'd order the parts. They'd order two everything, one for them, one for me. Okay, that's how it was worked in. And some supply officer caught me after a while, but they kind of blew that over. The New London was started with the scuba people running all over the base. That was Kennedy's. He wanted to have his own little group of SEALs, okay, and they all came from the scuba people, and that's where it started. He wanted somebody that didn't give a you-know-what about living or dying, and that's where we started from. That's how all that comes to pass, but you don't get that from other people, and they were all frogmen, okay? So each submarine has a swimmer, has one or two swimmers, and that's what they do. Okay? I liked New London. When I went ashore, I bought a house in Norwich. I bought an apartment house, rented out the top, lived in the bottom, all the rest of that. Norwich, the 7 hills of Norwich, Mr. Land of land cameras, Polaroid land cameras, way before your time. Several millionaires in that town and all the rest of that. It was interesting. It was interesting. The only sailor ever to be an assemblyman in Norwich. Just for the hell of it, I ran, really kind of wasn't into politics, never was, but it was a nice place to raise children. You'd see them punting down the Thames all the time. Across the river from me was Uncasville. Last of the Mohegans was buried there. A lot of history, and I don't regret any of it, but. Yeah, and all my kids get to say they were born in Connecticut.